Hello everyone, it's time for another part of playthrough from Gran Turismo 4, and today it's probably the most difficult championship in this whole game. Gran Turismo World Championship. Ironically, it's available in Professional League, but honestly I need to change oil and buy all available upgrades for this Group C car, because this particular championship is even more difficult than Gran Turismo All Stars or Dream Car Championship, even Rio Circuit Tour. All those events and championships available in Extreme League. So yeah, it's a nice challenge in order to unlock Extreme League. I need to actually win probably one of the most difficult championships to prove myself that I am the true professional. So yeah, Turbo Kit Stage 4 and Nitrous Oxide, just in case. And obviously because this is a completely different game than Gran Turismo 3, I need to acquire both medium tires for the front side of the car, but also super hard and hard tires, because, you know, I would probably at least once on each track use the pit stop. So here we have it, Gran Turismo World Championship, 25,000 for each race and $250,000 for winning this World Championship. And as you can see, we have a nice set of endurance races, to be precise, 4 laps around Le Mans with chicanes, but everything else 10 to 20 laps, which actually means that this particular championship would be a very difficult task to do, and it would take a long time. But if I have this set of opponents, well, obviously Gilles Verdigo obviously also is available in this particular event. I think that the most important thing is to adjust the gear ratio, like in Formula 1 cars. So yeah, let's just say short gears, why not? And obviously I also need to adjust ballast, because, you know, in this game those cars are in a pain in the ass. Power weight ratio is magnificent, but in this game those cars sometimes drives like shit. Yes, supposed to be a realistic type of physics in Gran Turismo 4, but something goes wrong, and it's not that much realistic, and it's completely different than Gran Turismo 3. So first race takes place on Tokyo Road 246, honestly. 10 laps around the most iconic Japanese city circuit in the whole Gran Turismo series. Such a shame that we don't have it in newer releases. Instead, I remember Tokyo Expressway was available in GT7, but I don't remember Tokyo Road 246. So that's a nice start. I need to make sure that everything is just fine. Use nitrous oxide to overtake as much opponents as I can right now. And also I adjusted my tires, hard tires, hard rubber on the front side and super hard on the rear side, because obviously, as I said earlier, driving physics in Gran Turismo 4 are completely different than in Gran Turismo 3. But also, the biggest problem is not as great as in Enthusia. Yes, I always need to make sure that I do not forget about this quote. Enthusia Professional Racing is a completely different game than Gran Turismo 4, even if Gran Turismo 4 was much more of a commercial success, because obviously Enthusiast Professional Racing is actually more of a proper simulator, even if pit stops are not available, etc, etc. So by the end of the first lap I had a chance to overtake my Minolta Toyota 88 CV race car. So now it's only a matter of time when opponents might actually try to push me off the road, because I am on their way. Luckily this is not such a big problem for me, because all I have to do right now is just make sure that I drive fast enough, and also, which is the most important thing in this particular race, sometimes when I have a chance I can push my opponents out of my way, and not such a nice idea on city circuits, but honestly, when I have world circuits, etc., it's a much better task to do, because I can actually run far away from them. I used already all my nitrous boost, so now the only thing I have to do over here is to drive fast enough, run away from my opponents, and also acquire the first place, you know, the prize for the first place. Luckily also, just like in Gran Turismo 3, after each race I can save my progress, which is a good thing, a nice detail, because even if I make a small mistake, something goes wrong, I can always repeat this race until I actually win it. This might come in handy also in Formula GT, because not only Formula GT World Championship is much more difficult even than Gran Turismo World Championship. It's completely different level of insanity in Gran Turismo 4. But also the biggest problem is the fact that I have 15 endurance races, you know, Gran Turismo, fictional Formula 1. That actually means a set of long races, each takes 1.5 to 2 hours, which is a pain. I guess I need to do something about that. Right now I don't have any problems. Here is a chance that I might not even use actually a pit stop with those tires. I used hard tires for the front side and super hard for the rear side, because this car I have is a MR type of drivetrain, which means midship engine, rear wheel drive, so the rear side actually gets, let's just say, more pressure, tires get overheated much faster over there, etc. So let's see how all this works out. I need to focus on keeping this first place, to be precise, so let's see how all this works out. Alright, that's a nice wake-up call, because at least this Minolta Toyota CV decided to enter a pit stop to change tires. My tires also get a bit more overheated, but that's not much of a problem, mostly because of the fact that I used hard and super hard tires to actually make, let's just say, a proper measurement. If I have this midship engine rear-wheel drive train, something like that, I need to make sure that I also have some extra weight in order to keep this Group C car not lose speed because of wind, drag, all of this stuff. Even Vertigo enter the pit stop. Yeah, no chances of getting a better place, might as well just change those tires because I don't care. Well, sometimes it happens. That's why this car is a meme in Gran Turismo 4. Such a shame. So, here goes the final lap, and I guess possibly not only R92 CP, but also another R89C enter the pit stop, so that means I have a chance to win this challenge without any problems. I have a nice lead distance, as I used to call it, through those years. And I guess everything is just alright, so no such problems. Mercedes CLK GTR enter the pit stop, so I'm curious about the race stats when I pass the finish line, because obviously it would be a nice point to take how actually not only starting grid obviously, but also race stats can change when the fastest cars actually need to use a pit stop. Well, right now there are not many changes because obviously all cars enter the pit stop. So Minolta Toyota is second, two other Nissans are third and fourth, and then Mercedes CLK GTR and Gilles Vertigo, obviously last place. And I got 25,000 credits for this race, so let's move on to a much more difficult circuit, because after Tokyo Route 246 I have 21 laps around iconic Motegi Oval circuit, Phoenix Motegi Super Speedway. So obviously 21 laps, I think that the pit stop would not be needed. Here's hoping, obviously, because, well, this first race actually showed me that Gran Turismo World Championship is a completely different level than Supercar Festival and everything else I have in this game. Right now, obviously, because I only passed driving missions, beginner league, and now I am finishing professional league before I can move on to rally events. If I'm not mistaken, after that there's a possibility for regional, I mean American, Japanese and European events, so not very original there, obviously, but I'll get through with it. After this I only have one make cups, one make races, and then possibly endurance races, Extreme League possibly after that, and then I'm golden. Formula GT, everything else I need to take care of, and everything is done. Here's hoping I might actually have some free time to pass it in, I don't know, 2 years, maybe 3, because obviously right now I had some more plans, but let's be honest. Through this year I had many ideas for various playthroughs, etc., but let's just say I don't have as much free time as I had many years ago. So I guess I need to make a small break after passing this professional league. Maybe later I will check out all those rally events, one makeups, etc. See how all this goes out. So, as I said also earlier, Touring Motegi Super Speedway is not a very easy circuit, to be precise, because despite this track being an oval circuit, opponents over here are very fast. Obviously, I also have a feeling that Gran Turismo 4, obviously, like many other racing games, have this iconic, shitty rubber banding, which actually screws up everything that I like about racing games. Strangely enough, Test Drive Unlimited probably didn't even have a rubber banding. Well, Need for Speed Undercover for PlayStation 2 was actually on a different level, but at least Need for Speed Undercover for PlayStation 2 was more funny than frustrating, so that's a good thing. So obviously, as I see here, there are no chances to actually win this race until they enter a pit stop. I have hard tires, so here is a bigger chance that I might actually not take a pit stop and actually have a chance to overtake all of them. Win this particular challenge without many problems. Can't say any, because right now I have a big problem. I am still on a 4th place. Haven't got a chance yet to acquire a better car, because obviously I need to grind money and I didn't want to do it. So yeah, I guess I need to wait until they enter a pit stop. Here is my chance. Finally, I can use nitrous oxide and push through to my opponents, because obviously right now they actually lose speed and grip. So let's see. Sooner or later they might actually need to use a pit stop. Alright, so here is a famous glitch that didn't happen in Gran Turismo 3 because pit stop structure was a bit different. Minulta Tsura didn't have a chance to enter a pit stop. I got second place, and I am getting closer and closer to another Nissan Group C car because, let's be honest, right now they need to actually use a pit stop. At least this Group C car had actually a chance to enter a pit stop without a big fail or a miss. However, they crashed. So, right now, I have first place, few laps to go, and still, despite front tires getting a little burnt out, I can still make it without the pit stops. Magnificent. I really like this. Alright, I've made it. Even had a chance to, let's just say, lap out all my opponents. Mostly because of their fails, crashes, and actually using a pit stop. At least once. So I got another first place, 20 points out of 100, so there is still a chance that I might actually not have bigger problems. I'm not sure about all tracks right now, but here is a possibility that the next track would not be so difficult, even if this is actually a Hong Kong street circuit. Surely I have 18 laps, so I need to be prepared. But the only thing that I need to do is actually have a bit higher gear ratio, because can't lose speed. I could actually drive through all those corners on third gear, but on this particular track, it's a bit difficult. I might as well just use a practice mode or qualify mode, because to be precise, it's a much better idea. I can get first place, and after all of this, because this is a rolling start also on this particular track, I might as well be prepared for, I don't know, I have this strange feeling that this particular street circuit might actually be a most difficult one. I'm not sure right now, because Tokyo Road 246 was actually easy enough, but you should never be too confident. Too much confidence is not a good idea. So let's see how all this works out. There is a possibility I might get first place easily and actually have a chance to keep it during this whole race. I'll have to see about that. Well, this is it. The moment of truth. Perfect. Ironically, I have 3 seconds. The next driver. Nice. So here's hoping that I might actually win this particular race. 18 laps around Hong Kong. That means I also need to use at least once pit stop in order to win this race as I should. Nice cup of coffee and I can go. So all that matters over here is I can't be pushed into a wall. A wall. You know, I can't crash into something, lose speed, and give my opponents chances to overtake me. So I need to focus again, much more than in Tokyo Road 246, and keep myself steady and not drive too fast and burn my tires on those corners. Let's see how all this works out. I need to keep my car as long as I can before I enter the pit stop. Let's see how all this works out. Alright, no jokes over here. I need to actually enter a pit stop. Here's hoping that at least one of those opponents might actually enter a pit stop with me. Or, at least, I might actually have a chance to overtake them if they, in the next lap, use a pit stop. Let's see. I don't need extra fuel. I am not sure about, this extra wave that comes with fuel in this particular game, but I actually need to drive far, far away from any opponents that might actually, like this Minolta, is getting closer. I need to drive far away until it enters a pit stop, because honestly I haven't paid attention too much to the fact that possibly only Julio Verdigo obviously entered a pit stop, but to be precise, this car in this particular championship is more of a decorative or something like that, so no. I need to keep my first place. I got new tires, so here is a possibility that I might actually win this race without any problems, and I am keeping it that way. Alright, so Vertigo twice enter the pit stop right now, and I also forgot that all of their opponents entered the pit stop just all at once. Actually, my bad. So, here is the final lap, the final chance to win this particular event without any problems. So it's actually a good thing, because I can drive fast enough, win this race, win this whole challenge, 18 laps around Hong Kong street circuit, and then all that matters is I move on to the next track, after this another circuit, the next one, all the way to Circuit de la Sarthe in France. 4 laps around the most iconic 24 hours track, besides of Nurburgring obviously, but they haven't thought that Nurburgring or Schleife would be a good choice to actually drive over there in Group C car. That might actually be a big carnage in this particular game. So I got a nice lead distance, again got first place, 10 points for this particular challenge. So after this I can move on to the next challenge, which to be precise would not be another let's just say would not be a walk in the park, but I guess I can do something about it. So I won the third race, time to move on to the next one. And here is a nice touch, because fourth race takes place on South Korean city circuit, Seoul Central. 19 laps around Seoul Central, which is a completely different track than Hong Kong. So yeah, nice detail. This race would not take that long, but this is Seoul Central, this is a fast city circuit. Besides of this tight section over here and a few corners, this hairpin section not far away, we have a long straight, and that's my chance. That's my long section to overtake all opponents I have in this race. Obviously Red Vertigo, which is probably the worst car, not only in GT World Championship. I have a feeling that if I would have a chance to race with this particular car in not only GT World Championship, possibly even like the wind, but also real circuit tour, Red Vertigo is a fast car, but it's a completely different level than other Group C cars. So I need to use nitrous oxide later on and catch up to this Minolta Toyota, because to be precise I have second place obviously, but I have 5 seconds gap and it's not decreasing that much. I have now 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds, but still I need to use nitrous oxide and drive fast enough to catch up to this Toyota 88 CV in order to overtake it and win this particular challenge. Let's see how all this works out. And here it is. Toyota Group C car. Alright. Overtaken. Now it's only a matter of keeping the first place through all those other laps on Seoul Central and actually winning this race. Actually, this track is, in my opinion, easy enough to not use a pit stop. I'm not sure about other opponents, but I guess I'll have to do something about that. Alright, I've made it. Actually had a nice lead distance because of pit stops, and even had a small chance to overtake Verdigo twice, but I don't really care about that. They actually had to use a pit stop, I didn't, which is a perfect, uh, let's just say, a pro, while using hard tires for front and super hard tires for the rear side of my car. So I got 25,000 credits again. No problems. So fourth track is taken care of. It's time to move on to the fifth circuit available in this championship. And right now I have a nice challenge, precisely because of the fact that I have 11 laps, but this is El Capitan, so undulating surfaces, elevation changes, and let's be honest, a race circuit set around national park areas. So 11 laps. Here's hoping I would not need to use pit stop, but there are other problems I need to take care of while driving around this circuit. That might actually be a nice challenge, not because of opponents or tire wear, but because of elevation changes. It's a nice touch. Alright, so... Oh, I guess the pit stops are starting right now. I also have a bit overheated tires, but I don't give a damn. Here's hoping I might actually win this race without using a pit stop. Of course, I actually might have burnt tires up to the point that I might lose a lot of grip while driving fast around those, let's just say, undulating surfaces. But if opponents use a pit stop and I don't have to, I'm golden. It's all good. I can easily focus on driving fast and keeping the grip while having burnt tires. Because in this game, they can't burst out. Alright, that was a bit difficult, but I've made it without any problems. Use nitrous oxide, and go through the finish line hitting over 370 kilometers per hour, which is great. Oh, after this particular race, I might need to change those tires to the next challenge, but fifth race is over. That's half of this whole championship, which is a good thing. I'm curious about other tracks because I still have, for example, Circuit de l'Essart and also Suzuka Circuit and other very difficult tracks in this game. And obviously those races might actually take me some time, so I need to be prepared for it. Luckily I have a good mood, drank some good coffee. So let's move on to the sixth race. 15 laps around New York street circuit. So obviously another city circuit with difficult hairpins, 90-degree corners, etc. So again, practice mode. And to be precise, despite having a nice city circuit, New York City circuit placed around Times Square all the way to the Broadway near Central Park, to be precise. Yes, I know those districts because I've played many, let's just say, games set in New York, or at least some kind of fictional iterations of Manhattan Island. And also I checked out Google Maps, so yeah. So we have all the way from Times Square to near Central Park. After which we have obviously the projects, but they are not visible over here because why? So it's a nice track. The only problem I have is the weather, because it's more cloudy, while I actually had a chance to check out older versions of this track in earlier Gran Turismo games and demos. New York City circuit was supposed to have a sunny, clear weather, but possibly it's not very often. It does not happen very often in New York. Clear, sunny, hot weather. So yeah, here's hoping I don't make any mistakes while actually getting best lap time, because right now I am going for a pole position. Alright, so let's see. First place and almost 9 seconds of lead distance to the next best lap time. That's just perfect, because it actually means that I am starting on a pole position, and then I can easily run away from my opponents at least once, use a pit stop to change tires. Not sure about actually getting fuel, but I don't honestly care so much about that. I just need to change the tires if there is a problem, and everything else looks just fine. I just need to drive fast enough, not get overtaken, by any opponent, and it's all good. So obviously this is New York City circuit, so again I need to focus on driving fast but steady until I would actually need to make a pit stop. Alright, so luckily this is the moment when I need to change the tires, because obviously those tires are really bad right now. And this particular pit stop is a bad idea over here. In older versions, this New York City circuit was supposed to have a start-finish line and pit stop near Central Park, and it actually looked much more different. Over here, this pit stop seems a bit tight, difficult actually to drive fast around here. Oh, I got overtaken by Vertigo. Luckily, it's a very slow car, so not such a problem. I can outlap him again. Just like that. And now I just need to focus on driving fast enough again, not getting pushed, and keep this first place. Drive fast enough, get the prize, move on to the next circuit. Alright, so here goes nothing. I am getting closer to the finish line. It's all good. I won another race. Race number 6 to be precise. So right now I have only 4 races to finish before I take the prize. I mean the money, the prize car, and I am guessing, just like with Gran Turismo 3, where I finished beginner league and amateur league. There's a possibility an ending movie also after passing this Gran Turismo World Championship. So yeah, let's move on to the next race. I passed all 6 races by now. Oh shit. Reversed Opera Parade. Damn it. Another city circuit and also 18 laps. The only thing I can say right now, Lord have mercy. Damn it, it's gonna be a very difficult challenge for me. Of course I can actually make sure that I win this, but still, it might actually take me few tries, which you would not see obviously because I don't want to make this playthrough boring. So let's get the best lap time and actually try to win this challenge. It's gonna be a very difficult race. Luckily after all of this I have possibly Grand Valley or another circuit. I know about Suzuka circuit precisely, and then Circuit de la Sarthe. So this is possibly, just like Hong Kong, even New York, the most difficult city circuit in this championship. After all of this, I have only 3 much easier tracks to finish, which is good. Alright, here is a chance to actually have a nice lap time because I am again, interestingly, the fastest driver around here. The only problem I have obviously is with tire wear because I am driving fast enough, much faster than other opponents, but I also lose those tires fast enough. I am not too far away from the pit stop, so I got my best lap time. I can enter a pit stop and make sure that through those 18 laps I can win this particular challenge. It's not gonna be a piece of cake, but this particular win through 18 laps around Opera Paris city circuit would be very satisfying. So I need to make sure I get that satisfaction. So 18 laps. That's a nice start also because I have reversed edition of Opera Paris, which actually means that I need to focus on driving fast enough, but also be cautious like over here. Here I made a big mistake. Well, sometimes I have to do it. But luckily, there is a chance to actually pull all my opponents away from me. Drive fast enough, overtake them, push them into the wall, because this is another tight city circuit, almost like Monaco, but this track actually is, in my opinion, even more difficult than Monaco, possibly even more difficult than New York and Hong Kong, to be precise. So yeah, a technical French city circuit. All that I have to do is push my opponents out of my way in order to make them lose the grip, or, I don't know, push them away so they can crash into a wall or get off the track. Let's see how all this works out. Damn it! Again? Sometimes it happens. But right now, I am getting pissed off by all those opponents. Not because of rubber banding, however, this is also a big problem in racing games. But right now, I need to push this particular race car out of my way, get the first place, and keep myself steady and cautious before I would actually need to enter a pit stop. And just in case, you need to be prepared for all of this if you decide to win Gran Turismo World Championship by yourself. However, for this particular challenge, I might actually recommend you to actually find a chance to take another Group C car, grind the money, in special condition events or something like that, and give yourself, I don't know, PlayStation Pescarolo C60, or if you can unlock endurance races, try to pass El Capitan 200 miles to a Ford Minolta Toyota 88 CV race car. I am getting closer and closer to this opponent, but it's gonna be a long match, so I'll just need to focus again on driving. Well, finally, Nissan R92 CP entered the pit stop. So right now, while I have my tires in good enough condition, I need to keep the first place and not drive too fast through those corners. That might actually be the most difficult task for me, because I like to drive fast and I'm not very cautious in this game. But I guess I can do something about it, not making more mistakes like on the first lap, and keep myself steady on the first place. Alright, it's finally my time to enter a pit stop, but this time I need hot tires to earn more grip and actually have a chance to keep myself on the first place before this particular opponent behind me decides to catch up to me and overtake me. So I need to move on fast enough before this Nissan R92 CP haven't got a chance to overtake me. Damn it. This particular circuit is one of the most difficult ones out of any other city circuits in this championship, which is honestly a very big problem in Gran Turismo 4. Gran Turismo 3 was easy enough, but mostly because of the fact that driving physics and rubber banding were not such a big issue. Well, everything that I have to do right now is to keep the first place, not get pushed off the track by any opponent, especially this R92 CP, and get first place on the finish line. Alright, I've made it. It was a very difficult race, this one. But luckily I've made it. Now I only need to take care of 3 other tracks. Tracks that I have in this championship. And after this, I acquire a huge prize, money, prize car, possibly even ending movie, and it's all good. So yeah, 7th race is over. I have nice race stats, and also acquired 25,000 credits. Got 25,000 credits because I won another race. So after a big challenge in Paris, I have 9 laps around Suzuka circuit, which is a very interesting circuit for me because 9 laps I can actually dispose of ballast weight because Suzuka circuit have not many elevation changes, and obviously this is a circuit made for high-speed driving, despite obvious difficult sections like 130R corner, spoon corner, and few chicanes here and there. But race number 8, 9 laps around Suzuka circuit, it's not a big problem because I can drive fast and I don't need to use a pit stop through those 9 laps. Not sure about other opponents though, but I also don't have rolling start, so this makes it makes this particular race much easier than those city circuits I had with rolling start, huge gaps between opponents, etc. So yeah, I can easily overtake all opponents, including this Toyota 88 CV, and then I can just drive fast, not lose grip, actually make this Toyota lose grip, and actually get itself not only off the track, but actually go sideways. Alright, so now I only need to either run away from this R92 CP or actually, if there is a problem, push it over the road. But I have a feeling it would not be necessary in this race. All I have to do is, if there is a problem, drive through this difficult chicane I have after 130R corner over here. So let's see if there is actually a chance. Perhaps I can drive properly over here, or actually if there is a problem, cut through this chicane later on. No such problems now, so let's just focus on proper driving style in racing. Alright, so I actually had a chance, despite few minor mistakes. All my opponents, almost all opponents, I'm not too sure right now, had a chance to drive fast enough, but eventually needed to enter a pit stop. I didn't. And also, I am a fastest driver because I have a the best lap time possibly, and also drove fast enough, so they didn't have a chance. They don't have a chance to catch up to me right now. I easily won this particular challenge after those previous city circuits, so this is a nice type of a championship, because you can actually see many differences between each track. Obviously, I could actually have more than 9 laps on Suzuka circuits, so I might as well just see that this challenge would also be difficult, but well, I've made it without any problems. So right now, after Suzuka circuit, I have only 2 last tracks to finish. I get my 25,000, and after this particular challenge, it's time for race number 9. After Suzuka circuit and those other tracks I won, right now I have 11 laps around Grand Valley Speedway, which could be difficult, but there is also a small chance that I would not need to use a pit stop over here. And also I don't have rolling starts, so I can just drive fast, use nitrous oxide if necessary, and just keep pushing to the first place, overtake all opponents, not too far from the start line. And after all of this, I just need to drive fast. It's a reversed Grand Valley Speedway, sadly no dusk setting or anything else. Because this is not like in Gran Turismo 3. You just have a reversed variant of the track. That's too bad. Obviously opponents would try to push me off the road because I get in their way, but I don't care. And on the first place, if I drive correctly, properly, I can win this particular challenge without any problems, which is a good thing over here. I only need to focus on driving cautiously, keep the grip, not burn my tires too much, etc. So everything is fine and dandy, to be precise. So I just need to win this race. No two other words about it. Alright, so I've made it without any problems, and obviously without using a pit stop. Through all those 11 laps, I run away again from all my opponents and won this particular challenge. So, after all of this, I have only one final challenge to take care of, which is 4 laps around iconic Le Mans circuit. Actually, 24 hours edition, to be precise. So, 9 races are done. Few of those particular challenges were like a big headache, but I've made it. So now, here is the final challenge, after which I can take it easy and relax, because everything that I have after this is getting the prize, and in few months possibly move on to another league. Not actually Extreme League, but I need to pass everything else, win all other events, challenges, etc. Like said before, I have still, before Extreme and Endurance Leagues events, I have events, also rally events, one-make races, and European, American, Japanese events, all of this. So right now I have 4 laps around La Sarthe, something. Yeah, the iconic Le Mans circuit, over 13 kilometers per lap, because this is not a Bugatti circuit for MotoGP. This is an actual Le Mans circuit with Mulsanne straight line and let's just say public roads over here, so I can drive fast, not bother myself with any chicanes, just drive fast, win this particular challenge without any problems, and everything is good. Overtake this opponent again. Alright. Luckily I have all these upgrades, so this challenge would not be a very difficult one. I can drive fast enough, push to up to almost 400 kilometers, and everything is alright. Like over here. Just perfect. So right now, the only thing I need to bother myself with is drive fast enough to finish on the first place without any problems, which should not be a very difficult task to do. So yeah, I have a first place, so I can just enjoy this background music, my fast car, and everything is alright. Okay, so I've made it without any problems again. That's just perfect. I won this whole Gran Turismo World Championship. There were a few problems here and there, but I've made it. All 10 races are done. So, possibly in the next episode of this particular playthrough, I might as well check out those rally events. Possibly after that, Japanese, American, and European events, and after this, one make races to earn extra cash and possibly even use all those black cars that you can even afford in this game. I might need to check it out because, to be precise, I'm not sure if all those cars would be useful for me in endurance races, etc. So, I got the cash, now it's time for a prize car and also the ending movie. So, Gran Turismo World Championship is done, and I acquired iconic Gran Turismo 4 edition of Ford GT LM Race Car Spec 2 from 2004. This iconic car from this game. So, here goes the ending movie. Stay tuned for next video and have a nice day.
You